Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Manhattan audience, on New Jersey, now Pennsylvania audience.
Yes.
May I just peace and other blessing be within the
Peace and other blessings be within my spirit as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, that use of words to use that have other little meanings, you know, little sly meanings that's gonna get you away. Like a brother confessing about what he's done and thinking that he's absolved because he said, well, you know, yeah, I killed the mayor and I'm sorry about that, you know. I won't kill another mayor, and you know, if Allah don't, you know, will it, and I'm alright. Maybe I shouldn't have used that scenario, but I try to stay away from some personal things. But you know, the mayor's all right. He's all right with that, right? He wants to be used.
There's no particular name.
Yeah.
It could have been mayor.
You got mayors in every city, right? Yeah.
We don't know what we're in a number of cities here.
Shot sheriff. Yeah. So, but you know. That's the thing. People, when they go to them confessions, they think they all right. And see, people bring that mentality from their backgrounds here to the truth, to the seat of the truth with Ahezaah, and think they all right. Well, I ain't confessed, and you know, I let everybody know what I do, so I'm all right. No, you're not. Because first of all, did Ahezaah say you're all right? Did Ahezaah say, I forgive you? You know? If you're not in communion with Ahezaah, you should look at his commandments and make your assessment of your actions and what the results might be from that, because that's all you have, especially if you don't believe the messenger.
And then the other flip side of the coin is, even if Ahezaah pardon you, don't mean you ain't getting your just due.
Oh yeah, you still get paid.
You still getting your just due.
You still get paid.
That's the thing is, you know, people be up there getting ready to get sentenced, you know, by the judge, and they be like reading their little note and everything.
That's so stupid. I want to apologize to the family and let you know how you know sorry I am about doing this. I know my words don't mean nothing to you. I could never ever replace your son or your daughter or whomever your loved one was whose life I took. And I mean, like, what is that all about? That's not, I don't even understand the people of the loved ones going and getting in that situation, because that's not for them. That's for this dude or that chick who then did some wrong and hurt somebody so that they can feel like they might get a little break when they get taken out. Mm-hmm. Well, Lord, I did apologize. That more the devil's work. You kill my brother, I don't need you to come to me and apologize. I need you to be right by killing my brother. Huh? And because I'm going to want to see you dead if you're not right by killing my brother. You know, because you may be right by killing him. Mm-hmm. And if you right by killing him, I should not do anything or want to see anything done to you.
Right.
But if you're not right by killing him, oh, well, as they say, holy hell? Some people say, ain't no such thing. Yes, it is. Holy means complete. Complete hell? If I can, I will have it brought down on you. You know? But all that forgive and forget, that was a setup by the Christians, by the Antichrist, I should say, for the Christians. For those who will follow and be subjected to their leadership, their power, their authority over them, said, well, no matter what we do, you turn the other cheek and let us keep doing it. And forgive us for whatever we do that's wrong to you. Oh, well, this is by the church and the state, so you forgive everything. No, you never judge and penalize the church or the state, even if they do you wrong completely. It's the Christian way. Forgive and forget and just go on. That's bull crap. That's the devil's way.
Satanic.
Because the church and the state should be questioned and judged and kept in balance and kept in the way of righteousness. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that laziness on the part of the mass group of people that follow the church and the state in the face
Well,
of their wrongs?
well, it's the same thing that when you used to come to me and make excuses for the people of this community, and you say you too hard on them, you know, and this, that, and the other. I said you don't know. I didn't said this, that, and the other. I didn't done this, that, and the other. But you made excuses for yourself. They accept it because they want to be let off for certain things themselves. Well, you know, we have our laws and orders in place, and it's good for us. So don't worry about it until it hit home. Now, when it hit home, what do the leading Christians say of this country? We will never forget. They talk about the World Trade Center being knocked down by Bin Laden's people, but the government ain't so much really trying to get Bin Laden. They took a shortcut and turned to Saddam Hussein, one who the president's family really wanted. Huh? So what happened to Bin Laden? Why was Bin Laden's family taken out of here immediately? Why was they protected if we really thought that they did that? Why the answer haven't never came about those 4,000 people, that one group that took off that day when there was no religious holiday, no meeting reported, no nothing. They all just took off. How the 4,000 people gonna take off all on the same day? Because you can't get 4,000 phone calls across early in the morning to say don't go to work, and just go to your group. Because your group, I know they work with other people they could call too. Why was just this one group notified? Now, with all this in the media, all this in this low secret conversations and or what's being spoken about, why is it that they still trying to act like that man did that? Why they're not connecting that with somebody on this side that knew what was going on before it happened? But here it is. You got, 300 million people that's allowing a few people to take them in a certain way. And for the divisions of these so-called United States of America, the people can't come together and get some justice. But they will allow them to come against small people who might speak out against them, like ourselves. And the people stand back and say, see, they should not have defied the government. And the government is God.
And people
they're gods, but our God.
You got to look at things so closely, too, when it comes to them making strong statements about things. Like they said, we will never forget 9/11.
Yeah, we will never forget.
But if an African American hung a flag out saying we will never forget slavery,
they'll
be coming risen in your home.
Yes.
Just like
in your job, in some other place.
They'll have a priest that have raped kids at the parish, and they'll move him to another location
where they need to put a flag of we'll never forget the sodomy that these priests up here has been doing here.
But then you have a teacher that go to bed with one of the students, and they sitting in jail for the rest of their lives. So you have to really look at the double standards they make, and how much they give this Catholic religion so much power to do evil.
Well, they have to pay them back because the Catholic Church gave them power to do evil. See, back in the day, hundreds of years ago, many hundreds of years ago, them Catholicists had power, and they had more power than the politicians.
Right.
And they allowed the politicians to do certain things, and then play the game with the church, where the church is not cited for anything, and they excused from taxes and everything else, and they had their own kingdom. You understand? And because they did that with the Catholics, who actually took over the Hebrews in Europe and what have you, it panned down to other churches who said, well, you letting them do that, you got to give us something. So here you go with all these denominations of Christianity that got these things. And then the Muslims and the others say, well, look, if you're doing that for them, you got to do it for us. So, we're a religious organization, so we should be exempt from taxes and this, that, and the other. And at least give us something. You're giving them everything. So who really has the power?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a time period, long time ago, that the church had more.
Right. More power. More power than them. Right. And really they still do, but their powers are secret powers. They're the jinn. They sit in secret. Mm-hmm. In secret. Yeah. Don't think that little man over there in
Vatican
City ain't got no power. He ain't involved in these wars. He come out, he speak like the Indians say, he speak with forked tongues. Mm-hmm. They saying one thing openly and another thing behind closed doors.
Like the separation of church and state. But whenever there's a person running for a government office,
nowadays that they throw it out there. The church, yeah.
Speaking about how Christian they are and it's having trust on the money.
And now in the United States of America, you got a state no longer state that you're against the Russians and you trying to prepare us for World War III and underground and this, that, and the other. But now it's the Muslims, and unfortunately, the Russians was like in one area. Muslims are all around the world, even in this country, and every time the fools look at what they say and believe, they look at people who look like Muslims. And say, I hate you, as though there's something personally been done. You know what I mean? Forgetting that, people are people. And everybody in this country supposed to be free to choose what they want to believe. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that the church is designed to keep the mass of the people's minds sedated down, to keep them off the government. That's they got them souped up too.
Well, it's all about control. It ain't about keeping them down. It's about control. Sometimes you need them up so you get them revved up. Then you need to put them down. You calm them down. That's why they pay. That's why they allow all these churches to exist in these communities where you have the lower status people living. They might have them on every block to control the people. Yeah. See, in the rich neighborhoods, you ain't got churches everywhere because them people can afford to get to the church wherever it's at. The poor neighborhood, they got a church in every other block. Make sure you make it in there now.
Those rich people, are they more under control?
Tax-free money.
Are the rich people more under control?
No.
More happy?
No. Because you got different clientele among the rich. Their church is not like our church. It's just like you talk about the Shriners and the Masons and what have you. You got black Masons and then you got other Masons, and some of them are not privileged to them higher schools. Because they got different orders, I mean, you're going to have that caste system or that caste system set up, even though they don't call it a caste system here in the United States of America. Everything they curse about other nations, they have here. We getting Nazism right here. We've been waiting for it for a long time. We getting it here. Control, police state. It's coming.
Censors.
Yeah, censors and, and then this thing where people come and taking the census because they want to get more money in your community. Yeah, right. See, we as the have-nots, we realize that's a sham. But some of us don't want to realize that we have-nots, and we don't want to realize it's a sham. Oh, so we going to get more programs, huh? Especially now when they're in need. No, they just want to know who's who, where's where, how many they got, where, so they know what to put in what community, even if it's poison.
Mm-hmm.
And don't tell me that, people are so blind when they talking about it on public television about how they put forth secret trials of chemical warfare in the subways and different things like that there that they did 20 years ago. Don't think these people ain't still doing it. These the same people. Mm-hmm. They doing what they doing because they the devil and they can do it. They got power. They got these agencies got control. Some of them don't even answer to each other, And they the jinn. They in control.
Well, you mentioned him being the devil. You know, I know much of the audience.
Doers of evil.
Yeah.
They doers of evil. The devil could be any individual. The doer of evil, you know. But back to our community, you know. We have truth freshly given to us, you know. And we have the Holy Quran. Unfortunately, we don't have the authentic Holy Qurans because they've been translated. Any of us who know Arabic, for sure, for certainty, then they have it, you know. But we have a guide in myself. We have words from Ahezaah, and we should not victimize ourselves and or have an excuse to be victimized because of what we have. We got a power or the word that we don't use in the right manner, you know. If you take the power of the word and you use it for yourself to line your own pockets of life, then what are you? Who are you? Who you serving? You know? People need to ask that question of themselves. For every action, there's a reaction.
I remember years ago, some short years ago, you were describing a thief, someone trying to steal from Ahezaah, you know, and not actually understanding that, but not even just how the depths of trying to steal from Ahezaah, you know.
You understand that now?
You do with more depth, taking claim to that which belongs to Ahezaah and
Right.
acting as if it belongs to you,
Right.
you know, being out of order,
Right.
and, and being that devil, a doer of evil,
Right.
you know, right along with the other, you know. And you called me, I was a great excuse maker.
Yes.
Yeah, for the people.
And you
know.
still is,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
but I
know,
try
you
to
just
be-
don't verbalize it.
Yes, sir. You know, and I try not
See how you try to get out of that?
I try not to Yes, but it's a lesson that whatever level I'm at, I do take it, and I'm fearful of even saying that I've arrived at some point or another, because it's easy to recognize the sincerity of the mouth and the heart, and the beautiful lesson of being patient with it too. Don't sit around and expect Ahezaah to work at your whim or your magic.
Yeah, because I tell you, Ahezaah done told me some things, and I'm his messenger, and I'm tired of waiting. You know, but all I could do is wait. You know, and pray. You know, beg Ahezaah to not make me sick with waiting for things to happen. You know, because like I said when I first met you and first met other people, hey, Ahezaah, you know, Allah is Allah. If it put it in my hands, I would destroy it. So don't look at me as being such a great man. I destroyed this world. Ahezaah say, okay, now I'm going to give you the power to do what you will. I'll be like, everybody dead except me. Then I'll be like, this a lonely world. Me dead.
Surely you are the vessel. You are the vessel. Yes, and makes the world understand when Jesus says, when Jesus is reported to say, I am the way. You know, you didn't get one to the Father but through me. But at saying that was not the Father.
Jesus was talking to his people. Jesus was born to be a traveler, to talk to people and tell the people along the way that he was the way. Come this way to get to the Father, to get to the great L. You know, come through this mental exploration, this mental exchange. Come this way through me. I am the gate to it. You surrender yourself before the gate, and you'll get to the heaven. You know, and he was talking to people that he called first among the Hebrews, you know, and those who came to kill him and to kill his people, they're the ones who took up the banner. And from Paul, who was born and raised in their realm, and then, you know, was placed as one who would monitor over them, and then claimed that they were the greater of the Christ than anybody, when they were the Antichrist. You know, they were the reason Jesus had to run away, telling his people, I'll be back. And people still waiting 2,000 years on those words, I'll be back. He was talking to his people. He wasn't talking to the world. He's talking to his people. You know?
It's important for the people of our community and the people of other communities to see you as the same way as the gate and as the vessel, and not so much seek your favor, but to seek the favor of Ahezaah through
Right.
you.
That's right.
It comes to the way that Ahezaah has set forth and stuff.
Yeah, I am a reflection of my brothers who came before me, mainly the covenanting messengers, those who come with the agreement from Allah for mankind. I come with an agreement that people need to be really wanting to see, wanting to try to understand, you know, and they need to be knocking the community of A.H.A.D in the head to get this. But the problem is, people are so selfish that so far everybody who has come has fallen victim to wanting it for themselves and not for the world. I mean, being a chosen people is chosen to uphold the beauty of the Lord El. It's beauty in knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and to protect it in its most original form, and allow the world to take it and instruct them to follow it. That's what the duty of the chosen people are, you know. But people get it confused. They think chosen means we gonna be saved no matter what, cause we that chosen people. You know.
You know, you talking about chosen people made me think about the Holy Quran and how Allah clearly put it in there, and then Allah didn't let them mistranslate that at all. And well, I don't know. I haven't read.
When they said if you do
book.
with the people of the book before you did, we
Right.
we will exchange you for another people. And Allah has exchanged it for another people.
And I just was reflecting, and the thing is that what Allah said hold true to those who come after that. You know, it holds true. Like Allah don't need, is not in need at all.
No, not for Ahezaah, Allah.
You know, not at all. So, for anybody to think that, you know, they got a way in, that's just sad thinking. You know, but made me think about Prophet Muhammad. You know, Ramadan is going to start next week, and it's like I used to look so forward to Ramadan coming, but you know, people just like the people here in this community can make you dread things, or make you
so dirty,
make you like
You hear Muslims during Ramadan, I can't wait until the sun go down so I can eat. They miss the whole point of it. Because if you gather the righteous point of it and follow it, then Ahezaah will not allow you to be hungry, because it is the reality of your hunger.
Right.
It will not allow you to be hungry. It will cause you to understand the fruits of your blessing for getting involved with Ramadan. Then they turn to Eid like a celebration of Christmas. You know, where you can go on to Macy's and get Eid gifts. You know, the jinn, the Antichrist, selling you gifts to worship Allah. And they celebrate, and then they gouge themselves on during the Eid feast, and then they tell people who are not believers, who put cameras and microphones in front of their face for the world, and say, "Man, I couldn't take it. I'm so glad we can eat now. Oh, whew, you know, Ramadan. Oh." And then you got people around here don't even know what the burning was, what the Ramadan was. They worshiping something they never really questioned. They say Ramadan, a month of Ramadan, when Prophet Muhammad received the Holy Quran, as though Prophet Muhammad received the Holy Quran in a month. Or if he received it in 25 years, he only received it during that month. No. Allah gave Muhammad allowed them to have a month they call Ramadan, a month of burning, and to associate that with the burning that took place of the divine light being enlightening and burning Muhammad's being and receiving that Holy Quran. That's what the Ramadan is, the burning of the king. Huh? The burning of Muhammad. You know, just like with the other prophets. They have Ramadans too, but they didn't express it as such. You know?
Yeah.
And the people need to know that. The Holy Quran came down in 25 years. And that Ramadan represents Muhammad's reception of that book and what happened to him. And what we should do is remember Muhammad's suffering in receiving that book and his sacrifice in speaking that book and being the carrier, the host of that book. You know, that's what the Ramadan is. And only Allah knows how long he went without eating properly while he was at any time he received that book. If he stayed in certain states for days and nights or weeks in receiving it. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to Benjamin.
And that's not to give Muhammad praise.
No, but I had a situation where we had some brothers from the Ahmadiyya movement representing the East Coast or the United States, and from the Prince had sent them up from Washington to my home to meet with me, and they were asking me about Allah and my reception of Allah's words and what have you, and they were looking for signs. And I told them, well, Allah's speaking to me now. Allah speaks to me as I speak to you. And then they looked at each other and said, they was looking for me to go through something while Allah was speaking to me. They probably was looking for me to, the light to come and me to get burning and me to talk in tongue maybe. I don't know. But they were looking for signs, not knowing that I had been through my forms and manifestations of enlightenment. You know, I had been cooled before I met them, long before I met them. And now my reception of Allah is the same reception that I used to have in my own thinking. It is my mind. It is my memory. It is my conversing companion. So I don't have to let you see or know that it's speaking to me, it's guiding me. And it has the power to have me converse with you while it's talking to me at the same time. It's not limited in its power. So in that, they immediately turned away. You know? Even though all their questions and more that I gave them to question me about was answered.
It's funny because I know most people probably would say when they read, Quran or holy books, if they had the opportunity to be in the company of a prophet, they would be the most devout. They would serve by Islam.
That's their imagination.
Yes,
but when they meet you or they have the opportunity today, most people turn away or don't believe, and it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
I remember reflecting on the accounts of the books of those who rejected the messengers back then, and wondering how, in the face of the wisdom and the miracles and everything and the works that they reject, until you become an adult and you experience that same experience of desiring to be of yourself and associating yourself with the Lord of all worlds, thinking that you can be its partner.
Yeah, that's kind of funny that y'all would bring that up because, we sit in the company of the messenger, and if people live in fantasy, trust and believe. You sit in the company of the messenger and you look at him, okay, he's a man, but your whole perception changes. Your whole attitude, your whole state of mind goes from one state to another, a state of disbelief and a state of belief, a state of disbelief and a state of belief. And that's why you can have people that will sit with the messenger this day and time and don't be devout students or followers, So people have to realize that those is all illusions, Belief comes from something that Ahezaah give you, and being faithful is something that you strive to be if that's what you're really about.
Well, we see our signal.
The sun has come down again.
We see our signal to close out this show, and it's been a wonderful experience. Lord
Yes, man. You peace and blessing be then about your presence.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you